Hey again. The last thing I want to talk about in this section is break and continue. So I will just create a new file and I will name it Kotlin. Then I will name it uh, break and continue. Okay. Then boom. So if I start simple example and I would assume I want to make a for loop, and that for loop will print all numbers in the range 1 to 10. Okay, we discussed this before, and you say, okay, print the number and make sure print lines so it will not be one after another. So you should see them. So you could see them 1 2 3 4 5 until 10. This is basically how the loops run: 1 2 3 4, one after another. What if specific number I don't want to print it? For example, I don't want to print 5. So in this case, I say, hey, if the number equal 5, just continue. That means when the loop reaches point and find number equal 5, continue. The continue mean it just go back to the loop, just go back to this one. So it will not continue the loop, just go back to the for loop, to the parent. If I just run it back again, you will see it will print all numbers except number 5, because only number 5 will not be printed. See, there is no 5. To debug it, okay, we could debug it. I just love debugging things in these sections, so you will understand how the programming flow. You will not see a lot of debugging when we will go to Android. So make sure you learn debugging really well, so later on you will not have issue in debugging things at all. So now I have 1, you see it 1. I just, if number equal 1, no is equal 5, just print it, you see it in the screen. Number equal 2, print it. Number equal 3, print it. Number equal 4, print it. Number equal 5, so it will not print it, will go to the loop. Continue, that means go back to the for loop, then bum, continue until it print the rest of the numbers. So this is how simple continue works. So I will just keep this code for reference. I will print line, I say continue example. Okay, this is just for example. What if about a break? What if I just have anyone to another example? I want him to, when it reaches number 6, just stop. So that's mean I say, hey, just come back here, and this one will be break example. I say when it reach number 6, just break. A break, that means you just break the loop. You just break the loop and you go to the next. Let me assume here I have print line. I have something like end app. I add these things to help you to understand how the flow. So if you see the break loop will run from 1 to 5, but when it reaches 6, the break will not continue. Just you break the loop. Sometimes we need to break the loops for specific conditions. So think about you expecting users to input their information, then see, and from 1 to 5, then you break. Again, you could debug this part. You no longer need to debug that part anymore. So if I just debug it and see what's going on, so and I will show you what's the simple benefits we could get it from break things in the previous example. So yeah, we reached this one. Is 6 equal 1? No. 6, 2, no. 3, 4, 5, 6. So now when it's 6, just break the loop and go to the next. So this is a way of breaking internal loop. You could break also external loop. So what I mean by that, sometimes you have loops inside another loop. So let me assume, here I have another example. For example, break inner example. Okay, so that means there is a loop and there is another loop inside it. Okay, for loop I in 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I just print this one, the outer loop, and I want to break, but I don't want to break. When I say break, let me suppose 1 to 6, 1 to 7. So if I just print this one and I try to make it nicer for you so you would understand. Let me just also the inner things, just move this code inside the inner, and I don't say the I say the internal one, the I one. You could name it I, or could you name it inner loop. When inner loop equals 6, you say just a break, but sometimes I want just to print these things so you will see them how they get followed with the data. Okay, same thing for the number. I would love to do it in this way. So to be clear for you when you track the example, if I just run it, stop and run, and you will see the output in seconds. But when we add a break here, that means we break the first loop. Same thing when we do continue, we continue on the first loop. So looking back to this example, the inner and outer, look to it. How is it? So here, we start with 1. This is the outer loop. So in 1, this one should go from 1 to 6 because we break at 6. Then we go back. We did not continue until 7. We just break at 6. Then we go number 2. We went from 1 to 6. Then at 3, we went to 1 to 6 because we break at 6. So you see we break only the internal one. We don't break the external loop. How we could break the external loop? It's so simple. All what you need to do, just add word loop here, sign. I just give it a label. Here was something nice about Kotlin. You could give a label for things. And you say, hey, I want to break that one. In this case, the break will not break the inner one like you see it. It will not break this one. It will break the outer loops. I just wait seconds to see. Example, we start with 1. That's right, 1. It went here. And it went from 1 to 6. Then broke. Did not continue. So that means this loop ran for 1 time, then done. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is return. But before I talk about return, you now break. When I say break, that's when I break this loop, then I went back and execute the next line. And that's what we see. Number, then until 6, then you break it, we end up. When we say return, that's when it will return to the caller. Who's calling this function? Who? The main. The one is main, so it will go to the main. I mean, who calling the main? I don't know. The one who calling the main will be responsible for. Now the main is the main one. But later on you will see. We will talk more about these things. But if you see in this case, when I added return, I'm no longer seeing this line anymore because it will not be reached. You just return to the main caller. Yep. So yeah, that's what I want to share with you. Thank you for watching and see you.